Hi and welcome back to another Amazon selling video. Today we are going outsourcing for the premium brands. So Adidas, Nike, Jordan, Adidas Original, Crocs, Champion, and so many more. I am out here in Las Vegas, and normally when I go outsourcing for everything. I don't just specifically go outsourcing for, premium brands or like a specific thing, unless it's a hot product, and then I'm probably looking just for that. But my normal sourcing videos are not like that. But today, because I just released a premium ungating guide, which will ungate you in all those brands affordably and new seller friendly, I'm gonna go outsourcing to see what we can find and if it's really worth it to get ungated in these brands. Now, you probably already know if it's worth it or not because you're probably out there scanning and you see the restricted bar. If you do not know how to get ungated, the ungating guide will help you. Here are some of the recent successes in the first 2 weeks since it has launched. Because I filmed these in advance, it's now a month since it's launched by the time you're watching it, but these are all fast ungatings that are possible if you get the guide and go ahead with the ungating. As always, all my ungating guides and everything I put out there is affordable because I want new sellers to succeed on Amazon. But anyways, today we are headed out to Dick's Sporting Goods, which I've never been to before, Big 5, which I've never sourced before. I mean, I've been to these places, I've just never sourced them before, as well as Ross, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls. As with all my sourcing videos, I have no idea what we're gonna find. I am filming it as I go along, so hopefully we find some great deals today. My first stop is Big 5, and I'm going straight to the clearance area, probably like clearance clothing, but we'll see what happens when I get out there. And as always, I will fill you in along the way. So let's head into Vegas. Okay, so that is a smaller Big 5 than I'm used to. To be fair, I haven't been in one for a while, but I remember there's more departments, and that was kind of just one big box store. So anyways, they didn't really have any sales items, so the ROI on what I did find is not great because you're having to buy regular price stuff. But that being said, there is stuff still out there. So for shoes, I did scan some shoes, and none of them made enough profit to be worth buying. But whenever you're buying shoes, you want to make sure that you have the box, first of all, unless it's like a slide, which I did buy some of those, where they don't have a box anyways. But if it's supposed to have a box, it must have a box. And you can rubber band the box to send it in FBA, or you can polybag. I polybag them. And shoes always go to their own warehouse, so just know that if you ever have a shipment that only has one shoe, it's gonna be going to its own, so make sure the profit is worth it. In general, the bigger sizes or smaller sizes do well. So like in this example, the shoe size is 13 and it's sold out. So I went ahead and went over to Keepa just to see like what it's normally selling at and see if it was worth it. And then to calculate the profit, because when it's sold out on Amazon, you can't really check the profit. So all I did was just go ahead and go to a different size, put the price in there and what I would sell it at. And I mean, I could sell it for more since it is sold out, but then you always have Amazon possibly limiting the price that you can go to. Like they might cap it at what they think and you don't really know until you list it. So I just did a conservative amount and still it didn't make enough profit. So I went ahead and passed on that shoe, but those are all different things to consider and what you can do if an item is sold out. Quite a few items were actually sold out like on Amazon. So that's a good thing because obviously they're harder to find, so the money will go up, but it does make you have to kind of check more things, like pull up Keepa, see what it was selling at and all that. So it does get kind of cumbersome and annoying, but I mean, there was stuff there. So I got some water bottles, I got some slides like I mentioned, a lot of youth clothing, football pants. So here's an example of a pair of football pants. Again, I did the bigger sizes or the smaller sizes on both of them. So that's how I was able to find better profit, because generally the brand makes a lot of the most common sizes, but they don't make a lot of the smaller or larger sizes. So you can make more money because parents are trying to find that item for their kids and it's harder to find, and so they go to Amazon and you make a profit. Overall, I spent about an hour in there, so it wasn't a like super long time, but it was actually kind of fast for a store I haven't scanned before. Normally it takes longer, but like I said, that was a smaller store. I mostly just got Nike and Under Armour stuff from women and youth, and I didn't really find a whole lot of adult male kind of stuff, so just observation from this trip. And other than that, I'm going to head over to Marshalls and Ross, where hopefully I can find some better profit ROI, because it is kind of annoying when you have to spend $40 to make $20. I mean, it's still fine, but it's like, you know, I want to spend 10 and make 20. Anyways, I'm gonna head over to Marshall's now and I'll see you there. Okay, so I did pretty good in there. I didn't even scan everything. I spent an hour and a half and it was time to move on to the next store, but you could literally spend hours in there just going rack by rack of the clothing, men's, women's, kids, baby, all of it. There's so much to scan. So here's what I got for Crocs. Check these out. They are $19.99 and they make 14, and there was quite a few of them that were there. Here's another example of shoes. This time it's a woman's shoes. It costs $34.99 and it makes $13 in some of the sizes. Some of the sizes it doesn't. So you always want to scan all the different sizes because you never know which size is, you know, the size that's selling for more. So just a reminder. And you also want to make sure that you have the full box. So some Marshalls are starting to cut the box tops off. And when I get to TJ Maxx, they don't usually have boxes at all. So I probably will only find like slides and hanging shoes there. But yeah, if they cut it off, so obviously this is probably a return from another store that cut the lids off because it was the only one, but it was a great reminder that this does happen and you can't buy them. I am so sorry. I don't know why I haven't seen it yet, and I source everywhere, but a lot of the Bolo group members are mentioning it. Here's a New Balance find for you. I am not yet ungated in New Balance, but you can with the guide. They do sell New Balance, and so you can buy New Balance and get ungated. I just haven't yet because I really don't sell a ton of shoes, mostly just Adidas and Nike, but I want to share this for you if you want to get ungated in New Balance. Now, really quickly, I'm going to run you through some of the Adidas shoe finds that I found here. I'm just going to show them on the screen. I also found these on clearance, and they had 6 pairs, so that was a great find. So overall what I got here was some hats. Actually, I spent quite a while scanning the hanging hats, and they had a lot. They had Hurley, they had Adidas, they had a couple Nike. I don't think I found any Nike. I also got some men's shirts from Puma and from Adidas, and then I got some little kid sets, both boys and girls. The cool thing about, I prefer scanning children's for whatever reason, maybe because they're smaller and you can see the tag easier. I literally just go look for the tag I'm looking for. So if it's Carter's or if it's Adidas or Nike, whatever that tag is, I scan them all. And when you find one in one size, make sure you go look for it in all the other sizes, because if you get to Marshall's at a good time, like when they just kind of put it out, you can usually snag it in all the different sizes. And last thing I got was a bag. So I went to every section of the store that I know of that sells these kind of premium brands. So we've got shoes, obviously, but clothing, sporting equipment. I went to the backpack area, lunch boxes, but they don't really have any. So yeah, I got this bag. It costs $11 and it makes almost 10. So that was a great find. I found 2 of them. And now I'm gonna just pop over there to the Ross in the same shopping center and do it all again. Okay, so I didn't really get a whole lot at Ross. So the first thing to know about Ross is you can't get shoes there because they don't have the boxes. And even the hanging ones, they don't have the tag. For whatever reason, they cut off like the Puma tag and then they write the size in Sharpie. So if you were gonna eBay them, you can. You just have to take that size off the bottom. I think people use Glue Gun or nail polish remover to get the Sharpie off, but just something to remember, you need the box, if I haven't said that enough today. So all I really got was some luggage bag type items. I know they do have stuff at Ross. I scanned a lot of stuff, but I didn't end up really finding anything this time anyways. So next up, I'm going to get a coffee and head to TJ Maxx. Okay, so TJ Maxx was pretty much the same as Marshall's. I found a lot of hats, some that I got at the last one. I bought a few more, and also some that I didn't find before, so they were brand new here at TJ Maxx. I also found some t-shirts from Nike that don't quite make my $5 minimum profit. They only make $4. So if you don't care, they are out there, as well as some socks. So I got some socks that do meet my requirements, and I also found some that are just under $4. So it's really up to you. If it's worth it for you, you know, they're here for you. Here is a red Adidas water bottle that I found. So it costs $15 and it makes over $15. So that's awesome. Really quickly, I just wanted to show this because I thought of it while I was in the store. So when you have a clothing item that has the price, which honestly a lot of these do, you just want to tear this off. So we want to rip it off. If they're perforated, super easy. You don't want the price on when you send it to the customers. And then here's another example. This is a Nike one, or no, it's still Adidas, but it has the MSRP right there. And you want to take a little razor blade and cut it off, or cover it white out, sorry, excuse me, or go ahead and Sharpie it and then put your FNSKU label over it. It is tricky though because you want to polybag them, obviously, and you have to make sure it's showing, so make sure that label is showing. So it's up to you which way you want to do. You could actually label it twice if you want. You could print 2 labels instead of just the one. You go to manage inventory, select the item, and then up at the top you hit print labels, and you can print however many labels you want for it. So that would be what I would do, just because you don't want the customer seeing the price. Even if, so this says $60, say I'm selling it for $50, I don't care. What if the price goes up and now, shoot, it's going for $65 but it says $60, the customer's gonna be upset. So always cover the price or take it off. All right, I'm headed over, look at that hair. I'm gonna head over to Dick's now. I am super tired, not super excited to scan a store. I haven't scanned before, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. I think I'm just gonna go straight to the clearance and see how it goes, clearance clothing. I'm doing pretty well with the youth, so I might go there. Anyways, I will recap you in a little bit. Okay, so I didn't scan the whole store because honestly I think you could spend all day there, especially this one, it's massive. But I did take a little while, and so I scanned the youth clearance. I also went straight to the Adidas soccer balls, not only because they were right there, but because at Big Five I found some that were almost good enough, but not quite. So anyways, I did the youth. I found some Under Armour hoodies, and what happened was the first one was sold out, so I went ahead and found a different colored one, scanned it, and then used that one to see what the profit would be based off of what Keepa was saying that it was selling for in the past, like the high price. So I know that's a safe price to assume that I could sell it for. One thing I haven't said in this video yet is to always check the ranks, because you can sometimes get blinded by profit and then the rank is not even good enough. So double check the ranks that they are good enough. Clothing, 100,000 is kind of the highest I go in clothing, especially if there's a lot of variance, because that can kind of skew the listing. There's a ton of sizes and colors. They all have one rank, meaning they don't all sell the same. So definitely the higher the rank the clothing gets, the more you want to watch it. And then funnily enough, literally what I just talked about happened. So I'm scanning these clearance headbands, and there's one that's 12, and I thought, whatever, I'll just scan it, and I turn it around and Nike is saying it's $10. Horrible customer experience, okay? Why would I pay 12 when Nike wants it to be sold for 10? Anyways, so that's why you gotta take the prices off. And then last one I'm gonna share with you today is these Adidas slides that I found. They cost $20 and they make $10. Some of the sizes though, you guys scan all the different sizes. Some sizes make up to $16. Honestly, overall this sourcing day was not the most fun because I like to shop for the items I like to shop for. It makes the day more fun. So normally I wouldn't just specifically go out looking for these items. I would be going through the beauty and then through, you know, toys and all that stuff, and I didn't do any of the kitchen, all that. I didn't even do it. And I would also scan clothing and accessories and shoes as I was going out the store. So it was really weird to just go straight to those categories, but I didn't have a whole lot of time today, and I wanted to show this video of what the premium brand profit is. Obviously you're adding this onto everything else that you're out there buying, so it's an addition to, you know, topicals and grocery and toys and all that. But it is, you know, if you wanted to know if it's worth it, I'm gonna go and calculate all the profit and we will see how much I did today. I have been sourcing since 11 and it is now 5:30, so not a real long day. Like I said, I could have spent so much longer in so many of the stores, but I was just like, oh, I found a good enough amount. Anyways, I'm gonna head back home and we will recap. Okay, so I got it all totaled up and here is where the profit shook out. So overall, I found 115 items on my trip. Cost was $2,100 and the profit was $1,215 for 56% ROI. As I mentioned, the ROI is a little harder for these because at places like Dick's and Big 5, you are getting them for, you know, the regular retail, and it's only those hard to find sizes or types of items that are going to make more profit. So overall, the ROI is lower than normal, but 50% is like my standard of what I would go for, so there's that. I broke it down a little different this time, so I did not only the brand but also the stores and the categories they were in. So brands overall, 52 units were Adidas, cost me $950, and the profit was $536 for 44% of my total profit. Now Adidas was the number one, so I was actually asked today, like, what brand should you start with once you get the guide, like which brand should you start with? And I would say Adidas, just because that's what I found the most of when I was out there. But as with any of my guides, when you ask me what brand you should start with, I'm always going to tell you, what are you seeing out there, what are you scanning that you're gated in, that's what you should start with. So if you're seeing a lot of Nike, start with Nike. Nike, it was 24 units, 609 costs for $300 profit. 25% of the total shipment profit was Nike. Crocs, 14 units, 265 costs, 183 profit. Under Armour, 13 units. I didn't actually find as much Under Armour as I thought I would, so this just a small note. Puma and Hurley, 9 units, 3 units. Puma was about $100 cost and 47, so almost 50% ROI on that one. And then the stores where I found the most stuff, Marshall's was the big winner, 65 units, $1,400 cost, and 657 profit. Big 5, I actually found quite a few things there, like those water bottles which are sold out, so it's actually great because since you'll be the only one selling, you can list them for hire. 22 units, $600 cost, $260 profit. TJ Maxx did pretty good, found a lot of the same as Marshall's or like versions of them. 18 units, $230 cost, $153 profit. And then Dick's, I was tired at this point, so 7 units and $150 cost for $87 profit. And then Ross, just the 3 bags, which was 2 different items, 3 bags total, so $40 cost, $57 profit. So that one is actually a really great profit, a better ROI, but you know, only 3 things. For 7 hours of sourcing, you know, to find $1,200 of profit is pretty good. So you have to decide for yourself if it is worth it or not. Really quickly, I'm going to go over the Ungating guide FAQ that I've been asked about this premium Ungating guide. So if you have any questions, hopefully this part answers it. First question is it guaranteed? I can't guarantee anything because I'm not the one holding the cards. Amazon is who is going to approve your account. So I can't guarantee it works. I just know that it works because people are getting ungated. It's how I got ungated. It's how members of the community are getting ungated. And I'll share some of the success screen grabs at the end so you can see like people are really getting ungated with this guide, but I can't guarantee it because Amazon is who's going to ungate your account, not me. Another question I was asked is this guide for these brands specifically, or is it just a guide that's going to show you how to start and get auto approved? No, it's not auto approval. You do have to get an invoice to get ungated. So it's all the brands that are available from the supplier, which are quite a few, and I've listed out the big ones, but there's a lot more than that actually on their website. So you can order the brands that you want to get ungated in, and it is for those specific brands. You don't need a resale certificate. You don't need to have sold anything. You can get ungated as soon as you're ready to, actually. But it's not some like sneaky way to get your money. No, it's just a guide I created to help you get ungated if you want to. Another question is this different from my other guides? It's a little different in that it doesn't have as much information in it. It's like strictly, I'm assuming you already know like how Amazon works and all of that, so I didn't go into the full-on detail of the first 2 guides do. So it's different in that regard, but other than that, it's step-by-step how to get ungated, tells you the supplier, tells you how to go about doing it, how to get the invoice. All of that is included in it. It does not have a group with the guide, though that's one of the main differences, is my other guides have groups with them, but this one does not have a group. Another question was, which guide should you start with as a new seller? I actually would recommend the Topical and Grocery Guide over this guide, but you could start with this guide if you want to, just based on what you're out there scanning. And if you're scanning a lot of these kind of things and you see the profit, then maybe this guide is where you should start. And then the last question was, does it tell you the legal way, an invoice or a letter? Yes, it tells you how to get your invoice. So on Amazon, when you request approval, it's going to ask you if you want to do it with a letter or an invoice. It's an either or, you don't have to have both. So this way is getting the invoice to ungate your account. You are placing the order, you are doing it all. I'm just helping you, telling you who to do it through, telling you who works. So if you want to get ungated in the premium brands like Nike, Adidas, Jordan, Crocs, Adidas Original, which is separate, but just so you know, it helps you with all that. So as always, the guides, everything, all my courses, the Bolo group, all that is below if you want it. If you don't want it, then just don't buy it, right? I don't want you to buy anything you don't need or want for your business. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you back here for another Amazon selling video.